Hello and welcome to the Unofficial Controller Podcast, your weekly gaming podcast. This is episode number 276. Can you believe it? Episode number 276 of your number one gaming podcast for news, all things modern gaming and retro. In this show, I'm going to be covering what games I've been playing, what I've been up to. Also, in this show, I'm going to be talking about, if you're a fan of RPGs, you're going to like this. I've got 8 games you may not have played from RPGs. I've also got a retro horror throwback of 8 indie horror games for PS2 fans. So if you're a fan of the PlayStation 2, stick around. I've also got some Nintendo Switch 2 news, which I like to squeeze in every show that I'm on. And also I've got some news about Silent Hill F. So any of you horror Silent Hill fans would be pleased about that. I've also got some good news for the Xbox. So the last 2 shows with myself and RGT have been heavily focused around the news of cutbacks, job losses, and generally bad news from Xbox. So I have got some slightly better news for fans of Xbox regarding subscription and so on. So we're going to jump into that in this show. If you are new to this show, because I am also streaming this simultaneously on my phone on YouTube, just in case something goes wrong with recording. As you can tell, it's just myself, Scott, aka Marathon Gaming. There are normally 5 hosts of this show, and unfortunately, you're just left with me, your least favourite host. Normally I've got RGT or Seb or George holding my hand, but we're going to see how we get on with it. So I'm going to dive straight in with what games I have been playing. Also, just a little teaser. At the end, I always like to throw in a few amongst the news of what games we've got coming out. And there has been, in the last 24 hours or so, 10 new games added to PlayStation Plus for July. So I'm going to cover those as well. So there's lots to talk about. So it'll be a packed show, even myself just waffling on. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. So first of all, games I've been playing, I spoke about it briefly last week with RGT, but Stranded Deep, the survival game, I've been really enjoying that so much. I find it very relaxing. I haven't got to the point where I'm actually doing anything in the story. I must not have crafted enough to unlock a story. So I guess there must be big boats and there must be airplanes. I've seen it from teaser trailers and you can see some silhouettes in the crafting items. I've seen from other tubers watching it online. So there's definitely more to the game, but I just haven't got there. I've gone to different islands. I've killed a few big crabs. I've killed a few wild boar. I've took a few resources. I've gone back to my island and I've been thoroughly enjoying it. I think today's the 10th day of me playing the game, so it should say my hours. Last time I said to RGT, I've definitely done a good 5 or so hours. I reckon I've done a good 10 hours or so. So I've been thoroughly enjoying that. And I'll tell you what, I would recommend it to anyone. I've actually got it up at the moment on the Switch. It's $22.99. That's a lot of money, guys. I would say add it to your wish list because there is a very good chance it would come in sale. I wouldn't want you to pay over £20 and be disappointed. I know I echoed that last time when I was on with RGT. So I would say, to be honest, wait for a sale. I paid under £15, like $13 something. So do check it out. If you're in the States or somewhere else in Europe, maybe you've got a better deal. I can only see Great British pounds on this one. But yeah, in case you want to know a little bit more, other than my waffle, this is what it says on Nintendo's website. Experience terrifying encounters, both above and below, an endless environment with a different experience each time you play. So RGT asked me if it's roguelike, and I said, I feel like it is. You start from the beginning when you die, and I'm not sure if things spawn the same. So there's your answer. Test your survival skills in this open world adventure. In the aftermath of a mysterious plane crash, you are stranded in the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean. Alone, without any means to call for help, you must do what you can to survive. Build, craft, survive, escape. I'm not escaping, guys. I'm literally just enjoying it. I'm treating it like Harvest, whatever it's called, Animal Crossing. I'm just like, I'm making a farm on there. I'm chilling out. I'm rolling cigars. I'm pouring a whiskey out of a coconut. I'm enjoying myself. But this is what you're supposed to do. Explore underwater and on land as you hunt for supplies to craft the tools, weapons, and shelter you need to stay alive. Stay sharp. Hunger first and exposure against you, especially the sun, can be treacherous for the elements and the dangerous creatures of the Pacific. I haven't been attacked by any sharks yet. I've been attacked by a wild boar. I've managed to hunt birds. I've got very good cooking skills. I've got a nice kitchen on my island. I didn't realise you could eat seagull. It turns out you can. But it's a really good game. I won't go too much into the write-ups. I know I spoke about it a couple of different shows, but yeah, do check that out. That game came out in 2021, 31st of August, and it used to be on Game Pass. And I'm hoping RGT has tried it out. Another game I've been playing I said it at the end of the last show. So at the end of each show, once we thank the subscribers of the show, we always say what games we hope to play before we sign off. And one of those games was Telling Lies. So I got it at a discount. It's currently 14.99. Don't feel like it's worth it. A lot of these FMV games are only so many hours long. They've got replayability because there's different endings, but it's not the best one in my opinion. I kind of can't work out what to do. Basically, you're hearing one side of a story through a desktop, different secret recordings of three women and one man. You're trying to work out who's telling a lie. You're trying to work out what your side of the story is from the pauses. The way you search for videos is by typing in certain keywords, such as love and stuff. And it's on like a typical Windows XP desktop. It's very, very basic, but there's a game like that on the mobile called Simulacra, which I very much enjoyed. And I played that on Switch. And I enjoyed Late Shift, which was an FMV game. So I thought I'd give it a go because I picked it up on sale, believe it or not. I think it's like 90% off or 80% off. I got it for like £2.99. It's 15 quid right now. I will report back in the future because right now I couldn't tell you if it's worth it or not. Here's what the write-up of Nintendo says. An investigative thriller game with non-linear storytelling. Telling Lies revolves around a catch of secretly recorded video conversations starring Logan Marshall Green, Alexander Shipp, Kerry Bish, Angela Sarafian, and director Sam Barlow. Apparently, these are big name actors. I don't recognise them. Creator of Her Story and Silent Hill. I got egg on my face. Shattered memories. So, yeah, big time. So, how does it work? Telling Lies sits you in the front of an ominous laptop loaded with a stolen NSA database full of footage. The footage covers 2 years in intimate lives of four people whose stories are linked by a shocking incident. Explore the database by typing search terms, watch the clips where those words are spoken and piece together your story. Unlike anything you've played before, Telling Lies is an intimate and intense experience, a game where you decide the truth. I will leave it there because they're making it sound more exciting than it might be. So I will report back with that next week. The third game I'm playing, and this is good. I really wanted to do like a marathon game in Switch deal of the week or a Switch game of the week, something to bring you guys. We do episodes every week of this podcast. It's been running for a good few years, and I tell you what, I've gone the complete opposite. This is a game I want you to avoid. It's £9.99. Do not buy this game. I got it in the sale for £1.99. It came out, it was so bad, 90% off. It got slated. I didn't realise, I just bought it. I'll tell you why. I went to see Jurassic Park last Friday. Fantastic film. Not a massive fan of the series. Enjoyed the first one or two, but the new ones, other than the first one with Chris Pratt, it went downhill. The wife loves the film. She went to see it. Went to see it. I was like, oh my God, it's a good film. Anyway, I thought I'll jump on my dinosaur kinky fetish. And Dinosaur RPG, it says. It's a dino survival game. It's called Dino Survivor. It's an RPG. It's meant to be a simulator of different dinosaurs. And on the trailer, you can be Velociraptor, T-Rex, 10 different dinosaurs, right? And you're supposed to, it's meant to be an RPG. I don't feel like it is. I'm going to read you what it says. And then there is RPG elements, but I'm going to tell you why it's bad. So it says, step into the prehistoric era of dinosaurs and embark on a thrilling evolutionary journey. Dinosaur RPG, Dino Survivor Simulator, offers a unique blend of survival, exploration, RPG elements, all set in a lush, dynamic biomes waiting to be explored. Here's what to expect, and this is a lie. Evolutionary gameplay, experience 10 immersive chapters. You can tell we haven't got any sponsorship, can't you? I'm being very one-sided. Each representing a different dinosaur's life, from nimble, I can't say that word, to the mighty Tyrannosaurus Rex. Relive the inspiring life cycles of iconic dinosaurs. It says about customization, growth, upgrade, personalize your dinosaurs. You kind of can, but it doesn't matter. It says missions and challenges, over 50 plus missions. Again, I'm going to debunk that because I don't feel like there is. Community and trade, that's non-existent. Unearth the mysteries, there's no mysteries. You're a dinosaur. There's no more mystery to it. Authentic experience, I disagree strongly. Dive into the accurate dino, I can't say that word either. From their looks to sound, experience realism like never before. Now, obviously, you've got to put the best writing on there, but if you see from reviews, it's not very good. It's a lunch game at £9.99. If you can get it for a couple of quid, it is fun because I have actually got my money's worth. I have definitely played it for a few hours. It's like a bit of a guilty pleasure because it's very bad, but it's quite enjoyable in a way. But here's what's wrong with it. Right, you don't get attacked by NPCs. So you're a dinosaur. The mission, he said there's lots of missions. There's not a lot of missions. They're all the same. So it might be go and kill a particular dinosaur, right? And it'll be highlighted a target, or kill 2 dinosaurs, or kill a boss, and it'll be a bigger dinosaur. And it's unrealistic about the dinosaurs you take down. You start as a Velociraptor and you work your way up to a T-Rex. I'm about 40% through the game. I've unlocked 4 dinosaurs. You do that by completing 50 levels, but they're all the same. Yeah, there might be 50 missions, but they're the same with every dinosaur pretty much. It's the same thing. It's a small, the different areas of the map. It doesn't get you exploring much. To re-heal, you should eat dinosaurs. You eat the meat or eat plants if you're a herbivore, but you don't need to. You don't get attacked by nothing. I think I died once because I was on the phone and one of them started biting me. Someone I was trying to attack. It would be a lot better if it forces you to grind, like other dinosaurs came up, but they'd be there and you can just walk a meter around them. As long as you don't walk directly into them, they'll leave you alone. You don't need to level up or grind up. It's meant to be an RPG. You can upgrade different attributes. The only thing I bother is I spend all my money on speed and stamina, and that's just to make the game quicker, because you might have a target that's 1,000 meters away. It takes 2 minutes. I upgrade it to 99 max and I get there in 20 seconds. But I don't need to upgrade any strength, any defense, any attack. It's too easy. Also, you've got the same attacks for each dinosaur. So, like a Stegosaurus, like they should have different styles. They use your tower. Everyone just does the same headbutt bite. It's pathetic. Also, it's the first game on the Switch 2 I've played that not only does it not look good in handheld mode, it's fine, by the way, in docked, but it's so clunky, it made me dizzy. And I will say this, it's unplayable. Unplayable. You heard it here first. It's unplayable when it's in handheld mode. I was very, very disappointed. But I say that, if you can pick it up for a couple of quid, it is worth it, because I don't know why, but there's some sort of, I wish it was better. They could have made it a lot better. If it was just harder and you had to level up, the mechanics are there, but it's just too easy. So you just do the 50 levels and they repeat themselves, like the 50 missions. There's basically 5 types of missions. You're either hunting berries, picking up woods or stones for a nest, killing 1 dinosaur, killing 2, or killing a boss. That's the whole game. And you just repeat that. And it's meant to get harder. Honestly, it doesn't. It really doesn't. But that's all I've been playing. So now it's time to say, I can't remember the speech that RGT or George say, so I'm going to make my own up. I've searched high and low across all realms of the internet to find the best and hottest news gossip and releases for all of you guys. I know I'll give you a little brief introduction at the beginning of the show, because I want to try and hook in my little fish hook to anyone that's new to the show. Because if you watch this from YouTube, you might not be aware it's on all streaming platforms. I do not know all of them, but it's Spotify and Apple. I listen on my car on Spotify. Some people listen on YouTube. There's lots of ways you can listen to this show. And we always come through with hot news each week. And it's been a bit depressing the last 2 weeks. I'm not going to lie. It's been a lot of job losses and cutbacks. So I'm pleased to say, let's talk some good stuff. So first of all, video game subscription spending reached an all-time high. Now, these news articles you're going to hear, the next 3 are from GamesRant.com. So thanks to those. This is by a guy called Dominic Bonsjak. So US video game subscription spending reportedly reached an all-time high of $600 million US in May 2025, driven by Xbox Game Pass and several other services. So here we go. We've got some news for Xbox. While the recorded figure helped offset marginal declines in other segments, the overall spending on the likes of PlayStation Plus and EA Play still amounts to only a fraction of the stateside gaming market. Mainstream video game subscription services have existed in some shape or form since 2002, when Microsoft launched its recently retired and replaced Xbox Live Gold platform. Who remembers those glory days? As of mid-2025, the market segment has largely matured, with recent industry reports indicating a slowdown in growth. Only firm returns could have predicted that. Despite signs of declaration, the sector continues to expand. The latest report from Executive Director Matt Piscatella, indicating that, I don't know if he's that Italian, but he is now, indicating that niche has recently reached new heights. In May 2025, US video game subscription spending hit $600 million. For the first time ever, that's roughly a 29% increase over the same period a year earlier.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
If you like video games, then you can't miss Call Me By Your Game. It's a podcast hosted by me, Sweetie Pie Connor McCabe, where I invite a guest to share about a special video game from a memorable moment in their life. That's right, it's baked in nostalgia. Was Persona 5 a warm blanket during the pandemic? Did Mario Kart 64 feel like a vacation? Or does Spyro remind you of that winter break with Dad? These are the types of stories told on the podcast. So call me Tetris, Half-Life, or StarCraft 2, it's up to you. Find the show wherever you get your podcasts, and get ready to call me by your game.
So what is going on at Xbox? Because subscription has increased 29%. Is that not enough? And were they expecting more? Me and RGT discussed last week. They got so many games in that maybe they haven't balanced the books. So maybe this still isn't the news they wanted. So when spending on non-mobile subscription services totaled around 465 million, the figure also marked a third consecutive growth to stateside subscription. It goes on, and you can see where the spending has gone on games and subscription. 3 billion overall. But without bogging down too much in that article, I do like to try and get a broader understanding, not be too biased. So I did have another article up here regarding the same things. This is from purexbox.com, which is going to be biased for Xbox, and even they live it to your thick. Gaming subscriptions reach all-time high, but Xbox Series X and S sales suffer in May 2025 US analysis. So some of the sale estimates for May 25 are coming out today, courtesy of Circana MPD, and it sounds like it was in a bit of a mixed bag for Xbox during that month, at least in the United States, where the information is based on. Firstly, there's a mention that video game subscription spending reached an all-time high in May 25 of 0.6 billion, making its first consecutive month of growth. Xbox Game Pass will obviously be a big part of this. However, they warn that video game subscriptions includes many different services. So are they saying this might not necessarily be Game Pass? Beyond this, Xbox X and S sales were seemingly poor in May 25, being down 30% compared to May 24. In contrast, Switch sales fell 44%, well, the Switch 2's out, and PS5 sales actually went up 3%. So that's a little bit non-relevant, really. Elsewhere, Elden Ring was the best-selling game for Xbox in US during May, followed by Elder Scrolls Online and Doom: The Dark Ages. This is similar to what we covered last time, to be fair. These games, I'll tell you, they're Elden Ring, Elder Ring Scrolls Online, Doom: Dark Ages, Minecraft, NBA 2K25, Elder Scrolls 4, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, PGA Tour, Assassin's Creed Shadows, F1 25. So that hasn't changed since me and George last looked. So that is pretty poor, really, because this was a yesterday article, and I'm sure me and George covered this about a month ago. That top 10 hasn't changed. So I guess they was expecting to sell less consoles, hence the switch in teams. But I thought they was trying to reduce. I mean, we still don't know. I thought I had some good news for you guys at Xbox, but it seems to be a little bit of same. I thought that might be, reading it out loud, secondhand, it's not as good as I hoped it is, but they're still ticking money over. It must just be not enough. I mean, let us know, guys. Are you anyone who is a hardcore Xbox? I feel like no one's necessarily loyal legion to one console anymore. I get Nintendo Switch. If you play Nintendo Switch, you might just be a Nintendo Switch fan. But I feel like most people that have an Xbox also have a PlayStation. I know you get PlayStation fanboys, but do you really get Xbox fanboys? Because let's be honest, if you've got an Xbox, you've probably got a Steam account and a Steam Deck. I might be wrong. Let me know in the Discord. Join the Discord. It's free. It's in the show notes. Or message me, RGT, George, anyone you know is part of the show or fans of the show. We can send you the invite link. Or comment on this video if you see it on YouTube. Now, who's ready for the next section article I've got for you guys? So this is the best RPGs to play if you are tired of RPGs. Now, I haven't played a lot of these, but I thought we haven't talked about RPGs for a while. There's a lot of talk about survival games. A lot of talk about Mario Kart World. RGT's been playing The Precinct, which is a PS5 game. So I thought, let's bring it back to some roots of the show. So here we go. This is apparently a top 8. This is from GamesRant.com, so don't come at me. Costume Quest, Trick or Treat. What the fuck is... Sorry, I've sworn. We've had a strike. What the hell is this? It's on Game Pass, so you can check it out. I don't know why this is on there. This must be an advert. 5.5 out of 10 and 7 out of 10. Costume Quest is an RPG best played during Halloween. But it deserves some recognition anyway. Released a digital game pack in the first HD era. This Double Fine adventure stars as a group of young kids who get their candy stolen by monsters at Halloween. They follow them to their home, battling along the way to get those sweet, sugary treats. back in a turn-based combat through an imaginative job system. It's cheeky like Double Fine games are. Plus, there isn't much of a grind to the gear and level up system. So basically, from that first one, I think we're going to get games that deserve more credit. So these will be mediocre games, 7 out of 10, which isn't necessarily a bad game. I said this about Star Wars Outlaws. 7 out of 10 is still a good game. It's just not setting the world on fire. It's not game of the year. It's still a decent score. So if you are a fan of RPGs and you're sick of the mainstream and you want a little bit of a hidden gem or something that's cheap, or if you've got Game Pass, that's free to you. You can check that out. Now, here's the next one. Live a Life, number 7. An episodic journey. I haven't had a stroke. I'm just struggling with my dyslexia. Live a Life was released first in Japan on SNES in '94, which later made its North American debut in 2022 with a sweet HD 2D remake. Players will have access to several characters at the start, including a cowboy set in the Old West or a ninja set in feudal Japan. Every character has a 2 or 3 hour campaign, and then once all are complete, a secret scenario will unlock. The courtesy is worth playing since players don't have to worry about epic campaigns and can instead focus on niche little ideas that hit or miss. So both of those sound very simple, not a lot of grinding. These all seem like this next one I've seen actually. This was on, I feel like Switch Player Mag. This is Metopia. Metopia making silly faces to be precise. So this is on Nintendo eShop, Walmart and Best Buy if you're in America. Metopia was released as a 3DS game, first of all in North America for 2017. The concept was silly and bare bones with a lot of flash to the story. Level designs are mostly automatic turn-based combat. It was a quirky RPG that allowed players to create characters, import their Miis or their favourite Miis to populate the world. Friends could appear as allies or monsters, or at least their faces could, which led to some creepy and yet funny combos. The game was remade for Switch in 2021. That's how I saw it, which is the easiest way to play it now. That came out at a bad time, 2021, because that was Animal Crossing. Was that 21? That's COVID. Was that 2020? It's a long time ago. I know it's COVID-19, but it was 2020, wasn't it? /21. So it's the easiest way to play it now, but the 3DS version is superior because of its spot pass and sweep pass functions. Let me know how much that is on the 3DS, because I reckon that might be a pricey one then. Parasite Eve. I've got this game, but I've got the second one. 8 out of 10. Parasite Eve was made as a Western audience in mind, with a Western audience in mind, I should say, as it was set in New York City. Players only have to worry about one character. And this is an expensive game, guys, so if you have got a PS1, get this one. Detective Aya Brea, who is chasing down a mutated woman named Eve, who is somehow transforming animals like rats and monkeys into monsters. Instead of traditional weapon armor, players can equip and customize guns and police wear and learn psychic powers. It's a breezy playthrough and unique since it's a horror game as well. And would pair nicely with Costume Quest on Halloween for those who are likely to be scared more. Someone's got shares in that game, geez. RPG type, like number 4. This score's going up now. That was an 8. The Legend of Riot. Right, they've been a bit cheeky here because they haven't put...
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, check out the What's Up with Tech podcast hosted by me, Evan Kirstel. I'm a B2B thought leader, content creator, influencer, analyst, and TV host, and I interview who's who in the enterprise tech world, covering topics like cloud and 5G and IT and AI and all of the really interesting B2B topics top of mind today. Thanks for listening.
This looks very similar to something like I've seen before. It's very hand-drawn. So this RPG, Time, The Legend of Riot, is certainly the most unique-looking game on the list since the concept draws from a child's homemade RPG in a notebook. Players will scroll from page to page, viewing penciled-in artwork, coming to life from one-eyed trolls to angry moles. There are action segments, turn-based segments, puzzle-solving, platforming, and much more. Players will never get bored with one idea, and it's not a long commitment either. Has anyone played any of these games? Please do let me know. I think Parasite Eve and Metopia, probably the only ones. I've not heard of the others. I don't want to say Hidden Gem because RGT's not here and he's the one. He's the Lone Ranger. He comes with the Hidden Gems. This next one is Sandland, Thanks for the Water. This looks a bit of me. Oh, 10 out of 10 and 8 out of 10 on 2 particular websites. Sandland is definitely a more involved action RPG game, but it is also unique in its approach to gameplay. At its core, Sandland is an open world apocalyptic RPG set in a world where humans and demons are fighting for water. This looks very tasty. As a demon prince, a Beelzebub, players can pummel enemies with their fists or magic attacks. The true stars of the show are various vehicles players can customize and pilot, from tanks to mechs. Is the last thing from Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama worked on, so it's worth it for that value alone. So far, that's standing out to me. It's available on PlayStation, also on Steam. I'm a bit gutted that's not on Nintendo. Just have a sip of water. Sorry, I'm getting a bit thirsty. Normally, I've got someone to bounce off and I can have a cheeky sip of water, but unfortunately, you have to listen to me slurp. Number 2, Super Mario RPG. A classic remade, 8.7 out of 10. Of course, it's only on Nintendo. Super Mario RPG is a Switch remake of a SNES game, the Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars, which was Mario's first RPG spin-off. It was a collaboration between Squaresoft and Nintendo at the time, and they did a tremendous job that then branched Mario off into 2 distinct RPG series. Both versions are worth playing since humour is at the core of the story, and the active turn-based gameplay helped start a new trend. The Switch version does have a lower difficulty setting, though, making it easy for beginners or those tired of grinding RPGs. Not that the original version has much grinding to begin with. Everyone loves a bit of bump and grind. I try not to get an R. Kelly song in every show, but it seems to happen by accident. Undertale is in at number 1. Talk through your problems. This looks bizarre. 9.6 out of 10, Xbox and Steam. This looks very retro for any retro gamers out there. Undertale is a game that asks players to stop and wonder about the feelings of them. Thank God it's a game. Otherwise, what are we doing talking about it on a gaming podcast? It asks players about his feelings of monsters they are fighting. Players can certainly play it like a traditional RPG by grinding for levels and slaying monster after monster. Alternatively, they could talk their way through battles and dodge attacks through bullet hell-like mechanics, which is very popular amongst the retro gaming crowd, which is seen as a proper way to play Undertale. It is another short game that is hard to describe and best experienced in one afternoon. Oh, just like the old 8-bit days. Once completed, your Undertale sickness will sink in and players will no longer be able to think of anything else. That's a huge shout. Any fans of RPGs, let me know in the Discord. Have you played any of those games? I'm assuming Sandland's my top pick. Super Mario RPG, everyone's going to have played. I'm interested in Undertale, to be honest, and Miitopia. And maybe I need to play a bit of Parasite Eve, because I've only played a bit of the second one. I don't think it's an expensive game. We've got a nice bit of news this week. We're covering lots of different things. I'm going to stick with the retro. I feel like we haven't gone retro for a little while. So this next article is 8 PS2 horror games that still haunt players with their atmosphere. This was by Amy Crowley, who published this particular article, and I thought this might be cool to go through. So number 8 is Cold Fear, which is a survival game. I've definitely played this. This was on Game Pass, I'm sure, but it says it isn't. It says it's on Steam. No, what am I talking about? What was this on, Cold Fear? Original Xbox. I'm sure that was on original Xbox. But it says PlayStation 2 horror game, so I'm obviously talking nonsense. I'm picturing it on Xbox. Maybe it was on both, and it wasn't a, what do you call it, exclusive. I'm going to run through, because a lot of these guys would have heard about, and then anything that sounds interesting, I'll read the actual description. Number 7, Extermination, which is the abandoned Arctic-based creatures, a sense of isolation. That is a cover which looks very, very boring on the PS2. And the price on the PlayStation 2 have gone up so much that everyone's seen, but Gun Club, that game is £500 on CX. So have a look for that at home or in your loft. Because if you've got that, you're sitting on a gold mine. I don't know too much about this, so let's have a little read of this one. A distress call from an isolated military base can never be a good sign, but that doesn't stop Extermination's protagonist, Dennis Riley, from stepping foot inside to investigate, a decision which he surely comes to regret when he finds out the cause for the signal to be sent. Even the sergeant's military training can never have prepared him to come face to face with the mutated monsters that have overrun the place. And they are more than a challenge for his combat skills. Though playing an army man, the players still feel the isolation of the location hanging heavily over their heads, as the creatures themselves don't offer any reprieve from the atmosphere, and in fact, that makes it much harder to bear. Oh, this next one is exciting. Number 6 is The Thing. What a film. I think that's my wife's favourite film, believe it or not. That says a lot about her personality. This is 9.6 out of 10. It's a video game based on a movie. It has a reputation for being less than stellar, with very few ever proving to be exception. This has got a remake, actually, guys. This got a remake. So it can come as a surprise when The Thing released back in 2002 proved to be the opposite. So after the events of the movie, players control Captain Blake, who's been sent to investigate the facility where the movie took place. So this is a nice reminder, because some people might have these games and not have played them. I'm sure The Thing got a remake, but I didn't hear the greatest things of it. Even those familiar with The Thing could not have prepared for the horrors that lay waiting within. The game lives up to the movie's level of body horror, even armed with an arsenal of weaponry to blast through the monsters. Players will still find themselves grappling with the atmosphere of the facility, as it is cut off from the rest of the world, and the only company the player has are the creatures. Number 5 is QON, KU-ON. Haven't played it, it's so expensive. I suggest you check that game out if you don't know anything about it. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a quick sentence. From Software are best known for their work on Soulsborne games, famed in their crushingly hard difficulty, but before they had players tearing from hair of frustration, they had them shivering in fear of QON back in 2004. The player controls a different protagonist who all have their own tales of horror and tragedy within the mission. What am I thinking of? Is it QON? Is this, what's the one where you see through the eyes of someone? I have played this. It was on Game Pass. No, must have been on PlayStation Plus then, if it's PlayStation. I've played this on a modern console or the retro game. I have played it. I remember it's like shaky camera. It's quite difficult to get on with. I would suggest checking out some YouTube footage if you can't get hold of a way of playing it, because it's expensive. This next game, I bought this at a gaming fair in Nottingham last year, and coincidentally, that gaming fair is in 2 weeks' time, a week from when you hear this show. So I will be up there. Anyone who's around Nottingham and they're going to the Nottingham Video Games Market and Expo, let me know, because I'll be up there and I'm staying up for the weekend. So let's have a beer if you're listening. Right, Haunting Grounds. You can pick this up under $100. It looks quite cool. Sort of lady and a dog on the front. Can't go wrong with a dog on there. 9 out of 10. It's from Capcom as well. So Capcom are mostly known for their work on Resident Evil series, which has become their flagship franchise. Though they have had their hand in plenty of other titles, some even in the horror genre. One of these often forgotten titles is Haunting Ground, which has become, I can't believe they said it like it's not a horror game, Resident Evil, which has become something of a cult classic, remembered for its over-the-top villains and plot. So players are in control of a rather defenseless protagonist rather than a gun akimbo military action man, which means players are more often than not running in terror from enemies. Hoping Fiona doesn't enter a panic state, even hiding isn't guaranteed. It looks very haunted, this game. It's very fitting for a name. And sometimes the antagonists grow wise to their favourite spots to hunker down in, but playing a character who cannot fight back works in the game's favour, as it makes exploration all the more dangerous and therefore all the more suspenseful. And you've got a dog in the game. So what's to go wrong there? Silent Hill 4 The Room. I haven't played that, but I've got it. 9.3 out of 10. An ordinary man leading to an ordinary life. Henry Townsend wakes up one day to find himself inexplicably locked inside his apartment as huge chains and padlocks prevent him from leaving at the time. A hole appears in his bathroom wall, which leads him into a nightmarish outer world overrun by monsters and ghosts. He finds himself coming up against serial killer Walter Sullivan, who is taking part in a ritualistics, I should say. Where Nightmare Otherworld is a scary place to explore, to be sure, packed with many surprising moments. Most of the atmospheres remain trapped in Henry's apartment. After all, home is where people are supposed to feel safe, but his apartment is anything but. Throughout the course of the game, horrific hauntings manifest that the players must banish, but even if they get rid of them, the memories will scar players. It makes returning home the scariest part of the game, and players don't know what they might be next. We've got 2 left, guys. This is the top 8, apparently, must-play horrors for the PS1. Was it must-play? Let me scroll back to the top. 8 PS2 horror games that still haunt players with their atmosphere. Do you agree with this list? I'm going to go through 2 more and let me know if there's anything missing you would have added in, because PS2 had some really big horror games. All the horror games really hold their value. Retro collectors will tell you that. Number 2 is Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly. And then number 1, Silent Hill 2. I do not need to read anything about that. Everyone's fully aware. And that got a remake, didn't it? So check out the remake on PS5. So yeah, let us know what you think of those little selection. It's nice to talk about PS2 because it had such a vast and tremendous library, if you think about it. So Nintendo addressed concerns that the Switch 2 is too expensive for young gamers. So don't get worried, guys, if you're not a Nintendo Switch 2 fanboy like me. It's only a quick little article. And it's just we'll be talking a lot about people putting a bit of hate on the Switch 2. Me and RGT have defending it to the grave. We've analysed everything. We've talked about the pros and cons. And to be honest with you, the only cons we can think of is a terrible battery life. So we do try to be as honest and non-linear and be on both sides of the fences and not, when Seb's on, he destroys me about Nintendo, let's be honest. So me and RGT have tried to be non-biased and we've tried to cover anything good and bad, but we've struggled to find the bad. And even though a lot of people on YouTube are finding fault in it, I think they're just making content, to be honest, because there's a little fault in it, to be fair. However, people have been complaining about the price. Me and RGT have discussed it many times and we disagree. However, I will read you this little statement. During the annual Nintendo General Shareholders Meeting, one investor addressed a concern about how the price of Nintendo Switch 2 could be too much for young gamers to pay compared to past products. In response to the Switch 2 pricing question, Nintendo President Shintaro Furukawa said I hope he's not listening to this, he'd be very upset. If you are listening to this, get back in there and make another Kirby game. Anyway, he said he believed the price was appropriate for what the system offered. I should apologise, there is a new Kirby game coming in August. Since its June 5th launch, the Switch 2 has become the fastest selling gaming console in history, with over 3.5 million units sold within the first 4 days of global availability. Although the Switch 2 continues to sell well, Nintendo and its partners are still struggling to meet global demand for the system. While the Switch 2 launched at $450 for the base console and $500 for Mario Kart World Bundle, the system's price could still change in the United States due to tariffs placed on imports from Japan and other nations by the Trump administration, which is a 25% tariff on all goods from Japan and South Korea. And that's in effect from August 1st. That isn't any more a rumour. That is, I believe, past the bill and fact. While Nintendo's new console continues to outsell its competition, a recent meeting shed some light on Nintendo's justifications for the Switch 2 price tag. During the 85th annual Nintendo shareholders meeting held on June 27th, company president Shintaro Furukawa took questions from investors. One of the questions posed came from a concerned investor who pointed the Switch 2 at a higher price point than past consoles. Let's look. What about inflation, guys? Come on. And stated it may be too expensive for young children to get, but it's not children buying it, is it? It's the mum. So, I'm not happy about this. Acknowledging that the Switch 2 is currently set a higher price point than its predecessor, he said, "We believe the price of the Switch 2 is appropriate for the gaming experience it offers." And we've been echoing that, me and RGT, to be fair, with the hardware. And what is most important is to provide entertaining experiences that demonstrate the values to its customers. So investors question this, $450, too high for children. What children are we talking about? Get a paper round. Nintendo president took questions. We've already covered this bit. Hold on a minute. He stated that Nintendo will monitor the pricing situation and determine when it could become a bigger barrier to enter for its younger fans. In response to a question over how the performance of the Switch 2 could lead to higher development costs and software prices, he stated Nintendo plans to make select titles more quickly as a way to offset those rising costs. However, stopped short of saying Nintendo IPs would be used as part of the proposed solution. To be honest with you, I think they're probably worried about the tariffs going to come in and they still need to make profit. So I think they must be having a chat internally about can they lose profit to cover North America. And let's be honest, that's a big part of the world. I'd say no. So they're probably going to get a more expensive one. They don't want to swallow it. They might swallow 5%, but you've got to see a 20% increase, surely. Surely, if you live in North America, and that's your president that's done that. We don't like to do politics on the show, but sometimes you've made your bed, you've got to lay in it. But no, all joking aside, no one could see that coming about these tariffs, I'm sure, when they voted for Trump. And it balances itself out. They probably thought it'd be good for the economy. I'm sure it is. But in terms of gamers, it's been egg in the face. So the Switch 2 is one of the best-selling products of 2025. Both the pricing and ongoing demand for Nintendo's new console could make it even scarce into 2026. It remains to be seen how the price of the Switch 2 will change over its lifespan. And to be honest with you, I don't think that might be planting the seed that you're going to get a price increase, guys, in August. So if anything, if you're listening to this in North America, buy a Switch 2 now because it's likely to go up by 20% in August. And that is not the views of the podcast. That is the view of Scott, aka, I don't want to say my name in case you can't look for me. That is my opinion. It might not be correct.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Ever wondered what a rhythm-based stealth game with dinosaurs might look like? Or a farming sim in space with zombies? Welcome to the Gaming Blender podcast. I'm Matt, and with my co-host Scott, we take a random game genre and random game mechanics, blend them all up, and pitch wild, totally hypothetical games you've never heard of, and maybe shouldn't. New episodes every other week. Hit play and unleash your inner game dev. No coding required. Search the Gaming Blender on your favourite podcast app now.
Yeah, if you want my advice, even if you want to get it for your kids, guys, for Christmas, it might be worth buying it now. However, you could get a pre-owned one. But yeah, I'm expecting it's not going to go down. I think they're acknowledging that everyone's saying it's expensive, and they're hinting that it could get more expensive if you're in North America. That's how I've read the article. But let me know if you think otherwise. Now, here's some more fun stuff. I've got some 10 games on PlayStation Plus. So once we've done this last news article, guys, I want to tell you about some new games you can play if you are with PlayStation Plus. I know we've been talking about Xbox not having too much in terms of games coming out lately. I just need to check that I'm still recording because I've got a slight concern I'm talking to nobody. Am I recording? Where's the recorded button? Yes, I am. I think I am. Okay. Good. Apologies that I'm not very professional with this. This is very new to me. Normally it's hosted by the bigger boys, straight live from El Paso. Like I say, it's normally Seb controlling it from Texas, or it's RGT from sunny Ipswich, or it's our friend George, owner of the show, up in Lincolnshire. So you've got the Essex version, the dodgy version today. Right, here we go. Silent Hill F, which is very exciting. This is a new one for us for the series. Silent Hill F is right around the corner, and with the game promising a bold departure for the series, many long-time fans have been wondering what similarities and differences will be present. The biggest difference in Silent Hill F is clear: the setting. Instead of the normal foggy town, Silent Hill F takes place in a fictional Japanese community. I've heard it's in a different time period. Right, protagonist Hinaku. I've picked a lot of hard names for a man who struggles to read. Shimizu leads the story, and a variety of horrifying monsters have already been revealed ahead of launch. With a brand new setting and fresh... Bear with me, guys. Silent Hill F has the potential to be an exciting change of pace, as the entry is also to... I need some more caffeine. It's also teasing more combat. Traditionally, the Silent Hill franchise has been more focused on atmosphere and story over combat. But last year, Silent Hill 2 remake enhanced some of the original game's fighting mechanics. So the Silent Hill 2 remake didn't go full on Resident Evil with its combat, but it was still quite an improvement. Based on Silent Hill F trailers, Konami is seamlessly learning the future, or leaning the future, I should say, into the more combat-focused moments. So that's quite cool. So they've obviously nailed the atmosphere. They know what they're doing with that. They've nailed the eeriness. They've nailed the suspense. And now they're going to nail the combat. If you're a Silent Hill fan, you've got you buzzing for that, because it was a bit tanky back in... Actually, to be fair, Silent Hill 1 on the PS1 still plays amazing. I just feel a bit sick when I'm in the tunnel levels. I don't know if anyone feels the same way, but I just get a bit motion sickness down there. And that's even on a small TV, like an LCD 30-inch. Anyway, I digress. Konami is seemingly leaning further towards more combat-focused moments, and in that case, it's the game's bosses hopefully don't disappoint. Oh, apparently it's got a history of lackluster boss fight. Well, they have been very good. It looks really gory, guys. When the combat in Bloober's team's Silent Hill 2 remake is still rather simple, developer managed to bring more depth to many of the boss fights. One of the biggest standout fights players experienced in the story is with Eddie Dombrowski. The encounter can still be fairly straightforward, but it also features a level in inventiveness and character depth that the original game is lacking. Some fights, like Pyramid Head, can still be slightly underwhelming. I tell you what, you get Pyramid Head in Dead by Daylight, and you will need to change your pants, I can assure you. When compared to the first game, Silent Hill 2 Remake really nails bringing home some solid base and boss encounters to a game that puts atmosphere and storytelling first. So I haven't played the remake. Have they improved bosses on Silent Hill 2 Remake to the first one? Let me know if you've played both. Because I thought a remake just made a straight remake, an improvement of graphics. I didn't realise they changed anything. So right now, specific bosses have yet to be confirmed by Konami, but there has still been some sneak peeks showcasing some of the Silent Hill F trailers. So let me know, guys, if you've seen any of those trailers and what you've seen. Silent Hill has plenty of iconic villains, and Silent Hill F clearly isn't skimping on incredible enemy design. However, good design doesn't mean good combat, so only time will tell how fighting these various enemy types pans out. But the game's team's offering of melee weapons through Silent Hill F has the opportunity to present players combat that is both challenging and dynamic. Being forced to get up close and personal with a boss or enemy can bring an extra layer of fear that is often missing from the Silent Hill boss fight. Silent Hill F's melee is bound to be controversial, but it might also be the key to making boss fights feel far more rewarding and sweet inducing. Silent Hill F, this is what you've been waiting for, launches on September 23rd, available on PC, PS5, and Xbox X Series S and X. Right, while we're on the note of things coming out for the PlayStation, so it's all very, now it's got me excited. I haven't played the PS5 for ages, but maybe I need to play the PS5 and get involved, because the Xbox, I mean, I might as well sell that thing. It's literally just a coaster at this point, the heaviest coaster or room draft. I can't even use it to stop the draft coming in because it's summer. It's not even needed required. I might as well put it aloft to winter. But the PlayStation, we've got news, guys. PlayStation Plus drops 10 more free games this July. Are you ready? Strap yourselves in. Cyberpunk 2077, PS5, PS4, available 9th of July. So I'm recording this the day after that, so you might have already played that. Abioptic Factor, available 22nd July, PS5. Banisher's Ghosts of New Eden. We've got Bluey, the video game. I'm assuming if there's no date, it's out now. I mean, I don't know who's checking out. I tell you what, Bluey's good. If you've got kids, that's a good program. And I haven't even got children. I just enjoy the show. Planet Zoo, PS5, available 15th July. Risk of Rain 2, PS5, PS4, must be out now. Tropico 6, that is the sort of sim game. Am I thinking of the right game? Where it's a bit like Civilization? New World Alterum, Twisted Metal 3 and Twisted Metal 4. That is big news, because I only ever played Twisted Metal 1 and 2 as a kid on the PlayStation. I haven't even played Twisted Metal Black Online. I haven't played 3, I haven't played 4. I didn't know there was a 4. Was there? Obviously was. When did this come out? This is news for me. You think I'd be more prepared? This has stunned me, guys. I'm going to get my backs against the ropes. I'm rope-a-doping. Twisted Metal 4. If anyone's got that, please lend it to me. Or where can I buy it? Apparently I don't need to. It's out right now. So I wonder how much that is then. Just the premium package. Is it? I used to have it. I feel like it's $11.99, $7.99. I get confused. It's not like just Game Pass. You get a PlayStation Plus standard, don't you? A PlayStation Plus premium. And it's never clear. Is it clear? PlayStation Plus doesn't say PlayStation Plus Premium. So I don't know if it's available through the standard package. So if you've got a PlayStation Plus subscription, have a look. Let us know in Discord, guys, if it is on the standard or the upgraded. So it says all the above games will be available on a Tuesday, the 15th July 2025, except for those with specific dates listed. Yeah, so Twisted Metal 3 and 4 is out right now. So as soon as I turn this, I know it's not. That's Tuesday next week. This show will air on Sunday. So we've got 48 hours to wait in a sweaty mess. Get down the pub, enjoy yourself in the weather, put some sun cream on, and get ready for Twisted Metal on 15th of July, baby. Right. Rightio. Where am I? I like waffling to myself. Normally RGT's here to tell me to simmer down. And George tells me, well, actually, me and George are a bit naughty when we get going. And it ends up into a 3-hour show. So luckily, I will keep this short and sweet. I'll try and keep this to an hour for you guys, for your single journey commute. Before we talk about what games I want to hope to play and wrap the show up, I just need to take this opportunity to say that is the news. Those are the game releases that I've got coming out. And please let us know if I've made any mistakes in community corrections or any of the tabs. I know I'm an idiot and I do waffle on and I do make mistakes, and we try to correct it in future shows. So please let us know if there's anything you enjoyed there or anything that's wrong. So the podcast is free. It's on every week. It comes out. It's on YouTube for the Unofficial Controller podcast, and it's on every streaming platform. And it's been that way for a fair few years now. I believe pre-COVID, or was it COVID? George, you have to let me know. I've only been joined with the hosting team for the past year or so. However, like myself, who has been involved with the early adopter pack, we have got some regular monthly contributors to the show. This is the point where we normally have a bit of fun and we take in turns and we say something silly about each name. It's going to be very difficult to do it yourself, but I'm going to give it a go. But you can't do it yourself, let's be honest. And I'm a bit worried about the name at the end because normally I'd be contractually obliged to say it in a sexual tone, and I'm not sure if I can handle it. Right, so thank you. These are everyone that do contribute financially to the show. And if you're interested in that, you don't need to, but it's involved in the show notes. And to be honest with you, you tend to just get your money back in bits and bobs. So what have we had previously? I mean, I've got mugs and coasters. I've had a T-shirt. I've had a cassette with my favourite episode on. So yeah, you normally get yearly art merch. I think you get quarterly Zoom calls with the host. I think you get in the Unglorious chat. There's nothing crazy going in there. It's normally just us slagging off George. And yeah, there's some other little perks, but it's different rates. So check those out. I do not have them to hand, so I cannot tell you, but you don't need to do any of that. But people that have done that is Cnox. So thank you to Cnox, who is over in Sweden. We've also got Carlos, who is the One Man George fan club. And I've heard Carlos in the last show, RGT, you said he'd done a new short for us on YouTube and it's not yet been uploaded. So please get that uploaded so we can see it. The next man is Firm Returns, and what a chap he is, a very intelligent gentleman who has got all of the financial data analysis. Then we have Trestles New York, the best bagels in New York. It's basically a free advert for Trestles New York, this is. And I've fallen for it every time. They do the best bagels. Head over to Trestles in New York. And then we've got Bada Binkster. I don't know if I can do my... Cucciabelle. Oh, mamma mia, le cucciabelle, but stand up. I can't do it on my own. I need someone with me. Bada Binkster, I'm sorry to do this service. Normal service will resume next week, I promise. Then we've got Tingle Turner. Digital Monkery, and I need to say about Digital Monkery because the challenge accepted is, I mean, every month in the Discord there's a free challenge accepted and there is free prizes to be won. And this one is Balatro. And everyone loved that game. I need to jump on it. I've only played it a little bit, but apparently it's a very good prize, which was teased. I'm a bit excited. Also, there was a prize for a free game for, I think it was the best short. I hope I haven't stitched George up. I'm sure that's what he promised, unless it was gaming credit. So George is doing stuff at the moment because he's getting married very soon. So hopefully when he comes back, he will announce the winner. We will find out. We've also got the gaming Gram. We've got Bald Balder, absolute legend, and Boba as well. Some real OGs of the Discord, the police of the Discord. I saw as well some nice cosplay. What did we see? Scream mask, Scream outfit, Boba Fett, of course. I can't remember what I saw now. I can't open my phone because I'm recording, but I've seen some fantastic cosplay. And then we've got Ginge. I promised him a shout out because today it was very hot and I work on a construction site. It's very warm. I had to wear shorts today. I'm not supposed to wear shorts. And I kind of hoped to get sent home, but it didn't happen. Right, listen to this. Ginge, aka stepson of George. I mean, when the DNA tests haven't come back, to be honest with you, but we sent them to Jerry Springer. I don't know if that's a real show or full of actors. I've got a lot of time for Ginge, only because he's a big man. I'm a bit scared of him. But he was working on a tarmac today. I don't know if anyone's gone past tarmac on a wintry day. It smells delightful. It warms you up. Imagine working with tarmac on a day like this. Not only is he good looking and hench and can curl me up like a pretzel and throw me over the beach like a deck chair, he's bloody good at games. He's got every platinum go. Every week he platinums a game. He's probably the most decorated superstar in the Discord. But I'll tell you what, who's the dark saviour of Discord? Harvey Retro, Lord Darkness himself. We've also got Emma Sharp. And I heard on the last show, I listened back in the car, RGT said Emma Sharp's married. I mean, I'm married as well, but it's killed all hope for me, that has. But Emma, I hope you're building your games room, I heard from RGT. So I hope that's going well with yourself and husband. I'm looking forward to seeing pictures of the games room once it's done. And do you know what? We've not had a games room picture update in the Discord. I myself am looking at changing my games room completely around which is why my videos have been a bit scarce on YouTube. I mean, I did do one previously. I might as well plug myself. Previously of the London gaming market, so that's up on YouTube. I went game gear hunting. So I filmed myself rummaging around and getting some deals, and that's a nice little video. If you want to check that out, check out Marathon Gaming YouTube. Anyway, back to this. This next person, I've said I've got problems with this guy because he told us in Berlin. We've covered every town and city around Berlin in Germany, and I worked it out last time that it's shaped like a controller. I think it's a wild goose chase. RGT said he ordered some air tags off Amazon or Apple, wherever he got them from. We're trying to track him, but first you've got to get hold of him. And I've said it before, he covers his body in margarine. He's a slippery fella. I just don't know if we can do it. I'm starting to think him and George are the same person. They're not here right now. This next person, she has got legs longer than your eyes can see. It's Mumsy. Mumsy, if you're listening, I need a PlayStation Plus Premium so I can play Twisted Metal 4, because apparently it's a game I did not know it came out. This next one is the RGT fan club. Now, I don't know who in RGT's family set this up. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. However, I did go to RGT's house and he did have fan mail through his letterbox piling up. But he's a postman, so I don't know if he's writing to himself. We don't know. Answers on a postcard, but don't send them to RGT's house because it's full of fan mail. Pete Brocklehurst, absolute legend. Billy Marmite, thank you to him. You can't hate him, you have to love him. We've got Simon Pryke as well. And I'm really nervous about this one because I've never taken the honour. I don't want to do it dishonour. I've always feel like I've sort of dishonoured Bada Binkster, really. So I'm going to do my best. I'm just going to go deep. Thank you to Fat Dan Give. I couldn't even do Going Brown earlier. I've missed some bits out on this, and I do apologise. I tried to thank everyone. But yeah, thank you to everyone who is the paid supporters of the show. Obviously, you don't have to do it. You can quit any time, and you can withdraw any time. If times get hard, cancel. It's not a problem. But while it's there, I think George and the team say thank you very much. Now, this is the part of the show where, before we go, we like to say what we hope to play, and we have a discussion about what we hope to play. But to be honest with you, I am going to complete Dino Survivor because I just need to see what's going on with it. And I need to report back to you about telling lies. And I want to play more Stranded Deep. To be honest, Stranded Deep's my comfort cozy game, I feel like, at the moment. It really is. Really, really enjoying that. And then, yeah, I'll probably just going to keep playing that, a bit like Mario Kart every now and again until I get involved with another game. I have got another survival game, which I spoke on a previous show 1 or 2 ago, but I haven't got too much into it. So those are the 3 games I'm juggling at the minute. And I have through the door received another super rare game. I don't know what it is because I bought Fran Brow. You might have seen, I mentioned it last show. It cost me £110. It's an expensive game. I bought it from CEX. I did a little short on YouTube. I've still not played that. And now a new game's come through. And I've got such a bad memory. Shouldn't say that. It should speak what you want. I've got a good memory. Your brain's a supercomputer. It reflects what you say. I've got a good memory, but I seem to have misplaced the idea and proof of receipt of what game I purchased because I don't really know what game it is, to be honest with you guys. But I will check that one out. But what I wanted to say to all of you listening is, if you are in a Discord, can you just let us know what you've been playing and what you hope to play? Because it'd be interesting to know what everyone hopes to play this weekend. We've got another hot weekend. It's hot out there. I hope everyone's staying hydrated. I know it's tough working outside in this heat, especially people like Ginge. But you got to make a buck, man. You got to make a living. You got to pay the mortgage. You got to pay the bills. So respect and salute to everyone that calls in sick and says F to the system. But no, stay safe, everybody. So I guess that's all from me. Hopefully normal service will resume for episode 277. I'm Scott of Marathon Gaming, and all I want to say now is it doesn't matter if you're given the unofficial controller or not. It's what you do with it that counts. Thanks very much, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.